Hello. How are you? This is Els coming from Bemis Crafty Corner. And today, we're going to do this. Okay, so I was making a journal, and I realized, that when I'm making my book cloth, I end up with this piece, that's on the end, that's always, not wide enough to do anything with. So, I said to myself, what can you do with that? And then I noticed my book cloth, and the inside of it was this muslin. And I went, well, you could make a tag out of it. So I did that, and then I said, it's not really the most stable thing, and you can't write on it. So let's try this. And then so I tried this, and this is a little more stable, but I can't write on it. So I decided we're going to do this a little bit different. I'm going to change it up, and I figured I would bring you all on this journey with me. So I am going to get everything together that we're going to use today, and I'll be back in just a minute to give you a full supply list, and we'll get started, okay? Be right back. So, what do we want for this one? We want a scrap piece of Heat and Bond. This happens to be the red, so I can't stitch through this, okay? A file folder. Some canvas or muslin. This is heavyweight drop cloth canvas. You're probably going to want a hole punch and a brad setter, probably some brads. You're certainly going to want something that you can cut on. So some fabric scissors or a rotary cutter and a straight edge, or craft knife and a straight edge, whatever. And then some embellishments. Okay, so I'm going to grab one of these file folders, get rid of the rest of them, and I am going to cut just, a rough cut here of a piece of scrap muslin canvas. There we go. You're also going to need an iron and an ironing board, okay? And your cutter to cut this. So that's your basics. I'm going to be back in just a minute, and we will get started. First step in this process is basically going to be turning your piece of canvas into basically book cloth. So I am going to give this a quick press on both sides, just to make sure I get rid of any wrinkles or anything that are in there. And then I'm going to take a look at this. Now, I happen to like this little fringed edge, so I'm going to keep that. And to do that, I'm going to put this right up against it. As close as I can. Trim a little bit of this. Has that little spot, where you go like that with the scissors at the end. Alright. So I'm going to put that right there, and then I'm going to press this on. Now, I'm using an iron that is as hot as my fabric will handle. Alright, so for this, I'm using a cotton setting, which is almost as hot as it gets. And it's a dry iron. I'm not putting any steam in here or anything else, okay? And I'm just going to take about a minute for this little piece, just to adhere that down. And then I'm going to let that cool off. So while that's cooling, I'm going to clear my desk, and I'll be right back. This has cooled. So I'm going to pull up the corner of the paper, and it leaves behind this shiny, glossy piece, okay? Now, we know we want to keep this edge, so we're going to use that edge to trim this down. And if you have this style of a cutter, you know, with a big rotary blade in it, it should handle this no problem. Okay. And 3 inches, give or take. Let's do 2.5. So what I have now is 2.5 by, I don't know, like 7-ish. Yeah. I'm going to take it down to 6. Let's take this down to 6. So now we have a tag base. So the next thing is going to be to cut a piece of our file folder. So let me just get rid of these tab pieces. All right. So we're going to do 2.5. So let's put this in. 2.5. By 6. All right. And now I have a piece that should fit this on the length, but because we left the fringe, it's not going to fit on the width. I don't know if you guys can see that. So what I'm going to do is take this, and we're going to take that much off. Okay. Perfect. Okay. Alright, I'm going to clear this. I'm going to get the iron back out so we can do the fusing, and then we'll work on the rest of this. I'll be right back. So, I'm going to take this, and I am going to make sure that I line it up so that I have my file folder perfectly underneath my canvas, and I'm going to heat this. Now we want to hold this and give it some good pressure because we're going through canvas trying to attach it to the file folder, the Duo tag. Okay. Alright, now I'm going to let this cool, otherwise it'll just peel right off, and I'll be right back. This is nice and cool and hard, okay? So the next thing is just to turn it into a tag, and to do that, I'm going to get out my little jig. This is my 2.5 inch jig, and it's at a 60-degree angle. Now remember, because we left fur over here, this is going to look a little off, but it's not off, okay? Alright, so we've got that. So the next thing is going to be to find our center. Yep. So I've just got this on the board. I'm just kind of, you know, doing the thing. And I'm going to put a little mark right there. That's my center. I'm going to get down to my hole punch. Hole punch. We're going to punch a hole. Okie dokie. Then we're going to set a brad. Now on this, I don't know why, but I like the wider ones. So, let's get one of these. One of those. We're going to put that in there. And then we're going to set this thing. There we go. All right. So it is all ready to go. Let me put my jig away. There we go. And we can decorate. So I'm going to go ahead and get out some ephemera, and I'll be right back, and we'll start decorating, see what we like on this one. Okay? Right back. I got out some bits and pieces and things of stuff that we can use to decorate. I've got lots of metal in here. And let's see. So we have metals, and I've got some gears and some busted up jewelry pieces and stuff. I've got some little bits of trim and lace. And some little pieces of ephemera and some brass pieces and some flowers and all kinds of stuff. So let's start with just putting some ink on here. Now, of course, you can make this any size you want. I can't round the corners on this though because of this. It won't round, so it would look kind of stupid. But I am going to go ahead and make sure that I ink that fringe very well. And I'm going to ink both sides. Now the nice thing about this technique is that the heat and bond is going to keep this from fraying anymore. So I don't have to worry about it coming apart. Alright, so we got some ink on there. And I have a blender pad on here, so I can go ahead and just, do a little light blending on the tag itself. Just to give it a little grunge look, Alright, so let's take a look at some of the things we have. And of course, we can just go cut pieces of lace if we want to, but, thought we'd see what was in here first. Never know what we might find. I've got a couple of pieces here, so. So this one's just little flowers with like a little bit of peach on it. Kind of hoped that would work, but it doesn't look like it's going to. don't know that I like that or don't like that. I've got some old stamps here. Let's put a little ink on this and see if we like it. It might be too much. We might have to go get a smaller one. So at this point, I'm just going to kind of mess around with all little pieces and parts and things and see if I find anything that, works. And that's if we can get this bag open. All right, I'm going to get my hot glue gun because I have a feeling we're going to use that, and I'm going to get out my Fabri-Tac and we're going to get started kind of doing this. So I'll be right back. Alright, hot glue is heating up. We're going to get started. So we've kind of pieced out, what we want here. I'm going to get my Fabri-Tac. You can use Fabri-Tac or 3-in-1, whichever one you prefer. I have the Fabri-Tac, so, that's what we'll use today. Oh, great fog of eternal stench. And we have the bubbling cauldron of goo. Piece of lace right here. And this red rose. And then the metal piece, we're going to attach that with the hot glue. Let's see if we're ready. Nope, not quite ready yet. All right. So here's the tags that led to this. So this was the first one that I did, and like I said, I made this one, and it was just 1 ply of heat and bond and 2 plies of just regular muslin, and it just wasn't enough. Okay, it's just not thick enough, and there's no place to really write on it unless you have a fabric pen. So I was like, no, it's it's pretty to look at, but it's not going to be functional. So then I tried this, which is a heavyweight canvas, and I did canvas on both sides. And as you can see, this is not completed in any way, because as I went to complete it, I went, you should have put paper on the back, you silly, silly girl. So I came up with this. So this is a tag that is made from heavy drop cloth canvas, and we left the natural fray, and we put it on a tag, like a regular, tag, so that it would have stability and someplace where you could write. Okay, so we just decorated this up. I added a little bit of lace to the top. We got an eyelet right here. We inked it nicely and just added, a little detail to it. And then we put this little gourd pin on here with some other little pieces just to give it a little extra interest. And that's it. That's the whole thing. If you have any questions, of course, leave them in the comment section for me, and I will get back to you as soon as I possibly can, usually within 24 hours. That's all I have for you. Listen, if you're new here and you haven't done so already, go ahead and hit that subscribe button for me. Like me, ring my bell, share me with all your friends, and your friends can be my friends, and my friends can be your friends, and our friends can get to be friends. And before you know it, we have a giant crafting community. I go live on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Sunday at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. That's 11, 12, 1 across the country, or 8 o'clock over in Hawaii. And the rest of the world can figure it out for themselves. Sorry, I don't math that well. Let's see what else. I deliver videos, upload videos on Mondays and Wednesdays, and starting in January of 2022, I'm going to be doing a free class. I'll get a video on a Saturday morning, and then Saturday afternoon I will go live via StreamYard so that you can come in and join me if you need to, and we'll take a look at what you did, and I will walk you through anything that you have going on and give you some little tips and tricks and things to help you advance. We're going to be working in journals, watercolors, we're going to be building things, just all kinds of stuff. So we're going to have a great time this year throughout the duration of the year. That's all I have. Until the next time I see you, stay safe. Bye-bye.